Hello all. Hope I'm live. Yeah. So welcome to the ReactJS class, and as I've told, this is the main thing. So that's why it got prime time. I also wait a sec. Wait a sec. I have also yeah, something else was also doing. So I have also done the Angular just before that because someone was asking the Angular, and Angular is also something which is like a side dish which should always start with React. You should know React. React is the main thing to get a job. You should know JavaScript, CSS, JavaScript, and React to get a job today. And Angular is also there, but Angular is something like which is additional knowledge. I teach a lot of additional knowledge on the channel also. Like next week, it is all additional knowledge week. Next.js is there, but I am thinking to give uh, Redux also next week. So these are all things which are actually related to React, means React ecosystem, JavaScript ecosystem. Every job is in JavaScript only. So as with that, so let's get started, and we start with the React journey, which is the main thing to get a job. Okay, so a job anywhere, even in my company, it's the main thing to get a job. Okay, so let me share the screen, and so I'm taking through this thing because React.js installation takes a bit of time. Okay, so what do you need to have a React.js installation? Okay, so you need something known as create React app. You need this thing, create React app from Facebook, because it is created by Facebook. So create React app you need. Let me make it a bit big. So create React app you need, and nowadays the installation is very much easy. Okay, so I'm going to installation first because it takes time. So npx create React app, and you have to do it. You don't have to install anything. Just now I completed the Angular class, and there you have to install something globally, but here you don't have to install anything globally. So earlier we used to install globally, like npm. Anyways, npm is required in everything. So npm you have to install, but nowadays it is not required. Even if you have this installed, you have to uninstall it. I helped a lot of students to fix this issue. They're not able to get the React app running because it's not that much. Sometimes this it causes a lot of issues. Okay, so let us create it. So first npx create React. You just need to do this, and don't need to do anything. Good evening. So okay, so that is there. Now I just have to let me do this, then we'll see the theory also, because it takes around 5 to 10 minutes to create this thing. So nps create reactor, my app I'm creating, and it will take time. So let us understand the theory at that time, okay, when it is going on. Okay, so let it be here so that we can know that it is finished. Okay, so what is ReactJS? So ReactJS is a JavaScript library and not a framework like Angular. We did Angular first day one. Those who don't know, I'm right now, what I'm thinking of doing 2 streams, not every week, but maybe on last 2 weeks I will do 2 streams. One is 7 to 8, one is 8:30 to 9:30, the main stream. So next week also 2 streams will be there. Okay, so this is what is ReactJS? So ReactJS is a JavaScript library and not a framework like Angular. So it is very small. Actually, it is very small. It is used to use build interface and focuses on the UI. It is a very rich ecosystem, and all those things are there. And so you have to learn. So why learn React.js? Let us understand that also. It is created and maintained by Facebook, and it has got the most number of stars on GitHub because it's completely open source. It has a huge community, means tons of Stack Overflow and articles are there, and it's the most demanded skills for front-end developers, 10 times more than Angular. So I always say, if there are 10 jobs are there, 7 belongs to React.js, only 2 belongs to Angular, and 1 belongs to Vue.js. And another thing, React Native, which is used to do mobile app development, it is completely based on React. In fact, it is 90%. It is there. 90% is there. Yarn create React app. I don't use Yarn that much, so I don't know. Means Yarn, I also don't like it. I think npx is also only better. Yarn you can do, but it is okay. And so React Native, someone was asking, Yarn is like a npm package. Okay, Yarn is like npm. Okay, so npm is very old, so it's a node module package, means everything is a node modules. Those small programs are there. So Yarn was recently released by I mean some other company and all. I think Oxford or someone released it. So Yarn is there also, but it is not used that much by the industry. Means nobody like. I mean, some people use it. They say it is lightweight and all, but I don't find many people using it. Okay, so that is there. You can use it, but I like npm more, which is the old one. No. Everything yarn I do React Native also with npm only. It is not like yarn is nothing like yarn. See, it is saying like an yarn start. I can do npm start also. Okay, it is like I can do npm start also. Everything I can do it npm. Yarn is like a what is this? This is known as module manager like npm. So it is like Windows and Mac. It is like that. Okay, so that is there. So hope my thing is done. Don't want to do much theory, but then also let us complete it. Anyway, so component based architecture is there, and there is another virtual DOM. You'll hear this a lot when you're doing React. Means React is very fast because of this virtual DOM, but you don't have to understand much because React code is totally different than the JavaScript code which we have seen right now. It is like JavaScript code which we know means document.query selector and all those things. It is not there. Then the prerequisite is estimate is JavaScript and ES6 as always, and JavaScript this keyword map, reduce and filter is also there, and ES6 let const arrow function, default literals, object literal, rest and spread operator, and destructuring. Okay, so this all everything is related, everything is released, everything is required. So see, everything is done. So getting this is also sometime a pain. So but I have done this, and this thing, if you get this thing, it means the React app was successfully created. So I'll do a cd my app, and then before npm start I have to do a code because I have opened it with VS Code. Okay, so I have to open it with VS Code, and then I'll do the npm start. Npm start I'll do, and nowadays it is taking a lot of time. Yeah, but it is done. Okay, it's done, and it is done, and I will open it in Firefox. Okay, here only I'll open, and it does it in localhost 3000. Okay, so React apps runs at this place, and we have recently done Angular. It runs at 4.2. Okay, 4.2.0. Okay, so okay, this is all good, and now what we are going to do, we are going to understand how a React app is means. How React app works, what is the structure and all those things. Okay, so the structure and all these things are like this. Package.json is there. Package.json is a very important file which contains all the libraries which React have. So just like this, React is 17.0.2. This is a very important thing. Okay, so why this is very important thing? 17.0.2. It is very important because React has gone through a major changes. Not means it has not deleted anything. Major changes from 16.8 version. Okay, so hooks were introduced in React. React was earlier using class-based component a lot, but now hooks are being used. So now today you're going to use a new project. You have to use a hook-based only. You should not use unless your company does the class-based thing. See, because in one of my paid batches, a person is there whom I am teaching, who knows class-based React because still in his project he's using that, but he want to learn the hook-based React and all. Okay, so that is there. So that all things are there. So React and all is there. Okay. 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 So that is there, and let us started with that. So this is the package of JSON contains that. Then this dot get ignore. Dot get ignore is a very important thing because this contains this node modules. See, this node modules should not go into GitHub or it will fill our GitHub. So that get ignore is very important. Then after that, hello all. So after that, this the main thing. So the main thing is that if you go to this public, this index.html is there. If you go to this public, this index.html is there. So everything is normal here. This title only is coming here. This React app is there. So if I change this thing, React tutorials, if I do this thing, React tutorials, just change to React, and it is hot reloading is there. Hot reloading kind of thing is there in React. Okay, so this hot reloading, you don't have to install anything like live server, or everything will be there because we have done this. Okay, so React tutorial I've done, and then there is one important thing here in the body part. So this index.html is only the thing which you are seeing here. Index.html. There is a div with ID of root is there. Div with ID of root is there. So what is this? Div with ID of root. Okay, so div with ID of root is there, and React app actually starts from, close this thing. index.js file. Okay, index.js file, you'll go index.js file, you'll see what this all code is there. React dom.render, some React internal code is there which you don't have to understand much, but only understand this thing. React dom.render, it means strict mode. It was also recently added. It means that this app is something, app component, it had to load, comma, document.get element by id root. This is somewhat like a JavaScript code, which whoever have done my JavaScript, they know that document.get element by id means it is like JavaScript. I'm getting this root. What I'm getting this root, document.get element by id root. This I'm getting, this root I'm getting, and then the app component. So it means that render the app component in place of document.get element id root. So this is how React works. In one div, it shows everything. So I will go here in this app. So like this, you can go, and this app component is only shown here. See this thing is revolving. This is logo, and all these things. It has been shown. Learn React, and all these things is shown. And React is a bit different. Means React, what happens? The JavaScript files and the HTML file are combined. See, CSS file is different. CSS file is all like CSS. But the JavaScript and HTML file are combined to something known as JSX file. See, this is a JS file, but you can see all the HTML code is also there. So this is known as HTML. So this is where the power of React comes. Inside the JavaScript file, you're doing a normal kind of HTML, and this is not normal kind of file. This file is also known as JXX, JavaScript XML. Okay, and it is not that much tough. It is very easy. You're going to learn it, and because of all these things, React is actually much more easier than Angular. If React takes 15 days to master, Angular takes around 2 months to master. Okay, that is like, although I am doing the Angular course on my channel at 7, and but I'm telling all the main things. But React, I will teach almost everything. Only the projects I think I will not do, but I will teach both class based also and functional also, hook based also. Okay, so those things I am going to tell, and this is how the React works. So let's get ahead of this, and let's start with the components. So components are like two, means there are two types of components in React. One is the functional component, and one is a class-based component. Okay, functional component and class-based components are there. Okay, and yeah, let us see something. Okay, so the functional components are also known as stateless functional component. Okay, stateless functional component, but this is not completely true. So why it is not completely true? It is not completely true because React started in around 2015. At that time, the functional component were also known as dumb component because they were missing two of the major features of React, which is state and lifecycle methods. But in 2020 mid, it has gone through major changes, upgradation, and functional component also started to have state and lifecycle method, which we are going to learn around maybe in day 4, because first we're going to learn the class-based approach only. So around day 4 we are going to learn this thing, because functional components are very important nowadays. And the other is a stateful class-based component, and it is like ES6 classes will be there. Okay, so enough of theory, so let us do it. Means let us do now. Okay, so let us do first the functional component. See, by default is app.js. It's a functional component, not as React. Earlier when I started, app.js used to be a class-based component, but now they have given it a functional component because functional component are the main. Okay, and one more thing which I think no resound in your video. Sound clear for me. There is a sound. Yeah. Okay. And then sheet. Okay, I forgot to tell that will be given at the end. Okay, so that is there, and I forgot to tell this thing. So let me tell. Means if someone is new here, they will understand this. So attendance sheet will be given at the end, and daily attendance sheet will be taken. Those who are here for the first time, it is not like today you are giving the attendance sheet and you will just get the certificate. No, 5 days you have to attend. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so let us start it. And this itself is a functional component, because it's a normal function is there. But let us go here in SRC. This is how you work in React, and we'll create a components folder we are going to create, and here I'll create grid.js. There's a file grid.js. And here one more thing, uh, we all of you should install. There is one extension. Is I don't have much extensions actually nowadays everything is installed from VS Code only, but this extension is very important, which is ES7 React Native. This extension, what it does, it gives us nice shortcut to get the whole of the structure. It gives us this nice extensions. Okay, so that is there. And then here I'll use the shortcut RAFCE, which is for a functional component. A functional component like this. It is a functional component like this. Okay, but the thing is that this is known as default export. Okay, this is what is app.js means. App.js is the thing which we are seeing here. App.js is the thing which we are seeing. I told so much before this. App.js is only the thing which we are seeing here. It's a sort of combination of JavaScript plus HTML. Okay, so that's why you need to be very good in JavaScript to even understand React. These are all complicated things. That's why you are paid in gold. So it is not like you will be paid in gold for no reason. You are paid in gold like this, because I know 6-month React, because I'm hiring also. 6-month React.js experience people ask for 10 lakh package. Not like that. 10 lakh package is like, you can understand what is 10 lakh package. Okay, so that is there. And grid.js is there. So this is React is a totally functional based thing. Okay, so means everything will be complete creating it in a component. I'm going to go through it again, but this is a functional. This is a functional thing. Okay, so this is a function, and at the end of this is a JavaScript function. And arrow function is there. So arrow function is there, and I'm doing something known as default export, which mostly we'll do default export. But there is another kind of export which we use not that much, but we use at a lot of places. I'll first do that export. Okay, so I'll delete it. Zoom, it is not, it will look clearly if you just let me check one more time. Yeah, it is looking clearly. Go to the settings, and in the setting do it at 720p. It will look very clear. Means 720p you should do it. Maybe I can increase the font size, but I'm seeing it quite good in laptop. You should all see it in laptop actually. So then also I have increased the font size, maybe. Okay, because I have a lot of screens, so I increase the font size. Its font size is okay. Okay, so there is another kind of export. Okay, so this export is known as named export. So here what I'm going to do, so all the files are different entity here in React, so that you have to connect it somehow. So you have to export it actually. Okay, so I'll do export here, const grid, and maybe I'll do this h1 hello world. Save it. And now I want to show this component instead of all of this app.js, this whatever it comes with React. Okay, whatever it comes with React, I'll remove this all. And here I'll have a grid, and it gives me the shortcut. And grid, you have to import it. And React components are self-closing like this. Most of the React components are self-closing like this. So it is like the input, but it is actually component. It is not the input. So I'll save it. Now this hello world will be shown. Most of the time we remove everything from app.js because it is by default it comes like this. So grid, it is coming, grid, this component is shown. So React is always like this. In the app.js you'll have other components which will be shown. So this grid not js, it will be shown like this. Export const grid.js, it will be shown like this. So this is one way. And see one thing here, this is how I'm importing with a curly bracket, because this is known as named export, and I'm doing the named import also. Okay, so one more thing is there is another way to do this import, and for this let me make a new file only, because you all should have this file. So greeting.js I'll do, and again RAFC, yeah, I'll do shortcut, press the tab, and now I'm not going to change anything here. Okay, change anything here, because let me do this export. So this export is known as default export. Okay, this default export, and let me have a h3 here. welcome to React. Save it. And now if I come here, let me have it below this one. So you can have multiple like this. Greeting, I'll have. See the difference here. How it is imported. This curly bracket I'm importing. This I am not importing with curly bracket. Because you can do here, the thing is that in the grid.js, you can do multiple exports. Okay, multiple exports you can do, but here you can do only single export. Okay, so this is how it is there. Now we will look into class-based components. Okay, class-based components are also there. So this is a functional thing. Okay, so anyways, as I've told, we are going to learn about class-based first. So class-based component we are going to learn. Okay, so let me make one more, like welcome.js and then RCC. So this is a shortcut for class-based component, RCC. It is done like this. And export default, you can do it here also, but I don't like it here. I generally do it at the end. Export default and welcome is there. And here, let me do a P. So I'll do a P, save it. Okay, so this is how a class-based component is done. See, the JavaScript classes is there. ES6 class, not JavaScript class. This is ES6. Okay, okay. So that is how the pattern in React is. This export default you have to do. Okay, export. This default is a keyword, sort of keyword you can think. Most of the things in anything is in all these languages a keyword. This is a keyword. You have to do a default. This is known as default export. Okay, that's a good question. It is known as default export. You do it like default. That's how Facebook created it. Okay, so that is there. So export default, welcome. You do it like this. There is another way also to do it, which I have shown. You can directly add exporter. That is known as named export, and that the import way is different here. This curly bracket you do. When you do default, you use it like this, and default is the most common way to export. Okay, so that is there, and this is a class-based component. As you can see, I have some extends component is there. Okay, extends component is there. This is a sort of inheritance also we are using, but you don't have to know much about it. Extend component is required because to use the React, all the React features, you have to do this. This is again a boilerplate thing, and render is something which we will learn later on also. But render is something which is required in a class-based component. See, render was not there here. Only return was there. Here, render is also there. Welcome to the world of React. Anything. I'm doing this P. Now I'm go back and I will show this. Okay, here and like this I'll do and. Save it. See, go the world of React. A P is been shown. So this is how we can do all these things in React. Okay, so now a bit of JSX. So what is a JSX? So JSX is like what are we seeing here? This all things. This is known as a JSX. Okay. So this is, as I've told, this is known as JavaScript XML. This is not exactly like HTML, but yeah, and because see, inside a JavaScript file, I'm doing HTML, and that's also a normal way of doing HTML. So that's why it is known as JSX, not much different than HTML and all. But you'll soon see means how we are going to add some variable. You do it by curly bracket, and there are some 2-3 other changes are there. Maybe I'll tell about those changes. Okay. Okay, those changes are there. Like class is changed with class name, for with HTML for on click with this class with class name. What is this class with class name which I'm telling? So this, you all know that CSS classes are there. See, if I do something like there, yeah, like class, I can style it. Class equal to anything I can do, style it. Okay, style. But since class is a keyword in React, it is a keyword. Class is a keyword in React. Inside this, it's the keyword in React. So we cannot use it. So that's why they did it like this. Class name, you have to do it like this, JSX. And it internally it get converts into class only, but you have to do this in class name. Similar to that, in a label we have the for. Those who have done my HTML, you know, in label we have a for, and that thing comes in the ID also of our input. So instead of that for, we have HTML for in React, because again a for loop is there in a JavaScript. For is a for loop. So that is this. So those 2-3 minor differences are there. The rest of them is okay. So now we are going to learn about something interesting. Now we're going to learn about props in React. Props is also a very important concept in React. So props are the way to pass data around. To pass data, we use props from one component to other component, mainly from the parent component to the child component. So this app.js is the parent component, and this greetings, welcome, these are its child. These are its children. These three components are its children. Okay, so that is there, and now we want to pass some data from here to the first we'll pass it to this thing greeting, and then we are going to pass it to a functional component. Okay, first to a functional component, then to a class based component. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me comment this out. So commenting out is also a different way in React inside the JSX. I'm selecting everything, and this control or command / I'll do and save it. So it will not show. It will not show only this one greetings. It will be showing. Okay. So greetings, it is showing. Now what are props? Props are the way from the parent component I'm passing down some data. So I'll do name equal to JavaScript passing. Let us do it 2-3 times. Golang and shift I'm going to do. Save it. Welcome to React. 3 times it will show, because I'm not using this. Now we are going to use this. So we are going to use it how? So when we pass something for the parent component, there is a special things which comes here, which is known as props. And we can, in a functional component, we can get it here, props. Okay, we can get it here, props. What is this props? We can also check what is this props. Console.log of props I'm going to do, and then hello, welcome. Instead of this, I'm going to do this curly bracket. So the curly bracket is something in which you can put any variable. Okay, so like this props dot name, I'll do, save it. See what just happened. JavaScript, Golang, shift, which I am passing from here, it is going there. And this name is not a keyword, means you can use anything here. Okay, this div I'll remove right now because I'm not using it. Right. So okay, that is actually used, that is not given by me, that is some styling thing. Okay, so okay, and let us have it as h1 only, so it is big. So this I'm passing this name, I can do anything, whatever name I'm giving, name should be here. And what is this? Actually this props which is getting passed when I'm doing it. So I will inspect it because I have console logged it. I will inspect it. Where is my inspect going on? Okay, so I'll inspect, and too many times it is opening. We'll refresh it. Props is actually an object. Props is actually an object with the name and whatever I'm passing it here. So it's an object. So that's why I'm doing it by objects key. I'm getting it by props.name. Objects key I'm getting by props.name. Props.name. Props.name I'm getting. Props.name I'm getting. Okay, I don't need this. Okay, so this is how I'm getting. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting like this. So this is what props is all about. So we can pass data around with the help of props. Okay, just I've told, and then props is the way to pass data around from a parent component to a child component, that is known as props. In this film means what? Okay, so that is there, and so this is how the props is getting. So props is this thing whatever I'm passing here. This is props. That is not compulsory to write. Props is not compulsory to write. But if you don't write props.name, how will you get it? You're passing some data from there to there, passing some data from apps to greetings.js. So it is like that only. Props is coming. And CSS you can easily add in React. See this import.css you're seeing? This is the CSS. Normal CSS, nothing fancy is there. It is normal CSS. Okay, so this is what props is all about. And now there is a another kind of a props is also there. Okay, another kind of props is also there, which we are going to see, which is known as children props. Okay, children props, it is there. And then what we are going to do here in this greeting, in maybe this Golang, I will do greeting. See, most of the time the React components you'll use the self-closing thing. Self-closing thing you're going to use in most of the React component. Self-closing thing you are going to do. Okay, so but here I didn't do the self-closing thing because I'm going to pass something here. Okay, what is Golang? This language for backend. Be like this. I'll do this language for backend. One sec. Let me refresh it. So I refreshed it. See the console log because I'm console logging the props. Second one is having something known as the children. I have not written it. The children, it is there. Whatever you put inside these two things, that becomes a children. The keyword children get attached to it. So now what will happen? Now I can use that. Okay, now I'll use that. And let me do that. P, not P. P, okay, it is, I don't know what it is doing. P and props dot children. I'll do props dot children. Save it. See, now I am getting an error. This is not because of the props I'm getting. This is, I am getting error because of React. React, what happens? React is telling me adjacent JSX element must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Did you want a JSX fragment? Yes, I do want it. See, React, there is a rule. The rule is that if something starts with like h1, it cannot end with p. Either you wrap it with a div, or you wrap it with something known as a fragment, div, or anything you wrap it out. So if I give the, see, this is giving error here also. So if I wrap it with a div like this, this error will be gone. This error will be gone. But with div, there are some issues are there. Means div is a block level element and all those things. So React has given us some special thing, which is like an empty element like this, only in React, not in HTML. You have to give like this. You'll not see any differences, but in when we do the CSS and all, it happens. This do some changes. So props are children I'm doing, and this props are children is showing this language of the backend. It is showing props are children. Language of the backend is coming from there, from props.children. It is clear. And now we have done this. Now we are going to do the same thing. See this props thing we are going to do in a class-based component. In a class-based component, and the class-based component is this welcome. Actually, I'm not going to use this thing. Comment it out and comment it out from here also. So welcome we are going to use, and let me have HR between it. It's not showing me. Okay. So welcome again. I'll have like same like name equal to letter, and here also we can have the children thing. Okay. React native and name equal to Java, and let us have this thing as a children. Let us have a children here, and here instead of passing something, I can pass actually anything. I can pass even a button like this. I can pass. Save it. So these three things are coming because we have not yet used those props there. Okay. So here to use the props, there is a different way to means the children and all those props are here. But the problem is here is that I don't have something like thing because this is a function. At the end of the day, this is a function. Function you can have parameters. But in the welcome here, I don't have any parameter here. Means there is no parameter here. Okay, so how to do this? How to use it here? So to use it here, we have the concept of this keyword in JavaScript we have, and we use this keyword a lot in classes. Okay, so in classes we use this keyword a lot. So we are going to use that a lot here. Okay, so let us do here, come here, and then here again I'll have this fragment because I'm going to have two things again. Okay, and I'm going to have h1 welcome this dot prop dot name, and this dot props dot children. So here the this keyword gets added. Here the this keywords get added. So you see, welcome Flutter, welcome React Native, welcome Java, and Java the click. This is the children. So this children is been shown, which is actually a button here, passing a button here. So this is how props are used, and props.name and props.children are used in this way. Okay, so this is very important concept in React, is used throughout React, how to pass the data and all. So very easy concept in comparison with something else which we are going to learn. Okay, so this is props, and now we are going to learn about one of the most important concept in React, which made React, which is the thing of state. So there is a concept of state in React. Okay, so state is something which we can change easily in React, and because of this concept of state only, React got most of its power, and this is simply the most important concept in React. And React is a very small thing. This is props, state, and lifecycle matter. Only these three things are there, and it is complete. And that's why it has been used that much. It used that. I'm doing Angular also. Come to that Angular class, you'll know the pain of Angular. So many things you have to learn. Okay, so that is there, and then we are going to create a counter class now. Okay, so this welcome greeting, I'll just close them all, and I'll create a counter.js and create. And now we are going to learn about all the class based components. Okay, RCC I will do, and here for default counter. So what is this state component, state thing? So for the state thing, what we need to do here, let me have this as a h1. Okay, so we are going to use the constructor. Again, the constructor is something which is there in a class ES6 class. Again, a shortcut I'm using. So this class thing is there in okay, so let me explain everything. Oh, not like this. Okay, constructor is by default, it calls every time a class has been created or an object is been created. In React, there is no object. Something like this is created the moment I call it. This class has been created. Okay, and constructor concept we have seen in ES6. Constructor is there in every class, and if you're coming from a class-based background, you know what is a constructor. So constructor is called only the first time. So first time it will call, and this super props it will run. Super props it is running because I'm extending from component, which is a React thing. So this super props I need to do. Then I have this dot state. This is the main thing. This dot state is the way to declare the state variables. Is the way to declare state variables. This dot state. Okay. And this dot state, we are using the this keyword. Why we are using the this keyword? This keyword is sort of a global inside this whole class. We can use it throughout this class at many places. So that's why you use the this keyword. We can use it here also. So no scope problem will come. So it is not like this, its scope will end here only. We are going to use it inside also. So that's why we use this keyword. Dot state is something, the state, it's a keyword. Always you have to have a state, which is an object. See, this is an object. Count is 0. Anything you can take. So I'm taking a key value pair will be there. So I'm taking a count variable which initial count is 0. Now I have to show this thing. So how to show this thing? Okay. So h1 I have, and then count is this dot state dot count. This dot state dot count I'm doing. Save it. Anyways, it will not come because I'm not showing it. So this is how you do it. Say curly bracket we have to use because we're showing a variable. This dot state dot count. This is a normal thing. This is how we show key of an object. So this is how we show key of an object. So this is how we have shown. So now we have to show it. So we have to show this. So we have a lot of things here. Okay. We have this thing. We'll comment this, all of these things out. Comment. We are going to require it later on, and we are going to have this counter not coming. So this is how we have to import it, save it, and a count of 0 has been shown. This is the state dot count. See this 0. This has been shown. Okay, so this is how the count works. Okay, this is how the count works, and means the state works. So the main thing is that this state, I have to increase the value of this thing. This is a counter. So this is a counter. I have to increase the value of this counter. So how do I increase the value of this counter? Okay, so for that I will have a button and in the button I'll have a increment, and it is already shouting at me because I am not wrapped it in a fragment. So it will shout at me every time I will have these things like this. So now it is gone. Red thing is gone. So this button increment is there, and then I'll have on click equal to. So I'm calling a function here. Okay, I will call a function. On click is something like a on click, means I've already told. In normal HTML, this C will be small, but in React, this is a camel case. Okay, then I will call a function. This dot increment count. This dot increment count I'm calling. This is a function which I'm calling. So see, now this function I have to declare here. So this is how. And one more thing, this render is very important here. Okay, increment count I'll do, and then I'll do okay. So there is something known as a set state. See, we cannot change the count like this. I want to change the count. The moment I click here, the count should become 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. I want to create. I want to do it like that. So what is there here means we cannot do it like that. We have to use something known as a set state to do this, and we'll understand why you use this set state, why this set state is required, why this set state is required. We are going to understand that also. Okay, this dot set state like this will do, and okay. So this dot set state is a function, again a keyword kind of a thing, which takes an object. Why it takes an object? Because this dot state is an object, and I am changing it count to this dot state dot count plus 1. You have to do it like this only. Save it. Okay, so this increment button is coming, and I will open the inspect because we have an error here. I will increment it. It is not incrementing. In fact, I got an error that can't access property set state. This is undefined, and this is actually a right error. I told that this can be accessed in a lot of places, but then also there are some problems with this keyword is there. So this keyword, those who don't know, means I cannot, means this keyword is very complicated thing in JavaScript. This is not React problem, this is JavaScript problem. This keyword is very complicated. In fact, one whole book is written on my channel. I have a video also on this keyword. You can check it out. Maybe I will give it some time. So that is the main thing is that this is not defined here. This belongs to the function in which it is called. Okay, so actually this keyword is not defined, and to solve this issue, We have 3-4 ways are there, and we are going to see the normal way now. In the next class we are going to see another 3 ways to solve this problem issue. Because of this problem of this, only React is moving towards the functional approach. Okay, so now this dot increment count I'll do, and this dot increment count dot bind this. So bind is a method in JavaScript through which you can bind anything. Means bind this keyword will be binded to this function only. So we're going to learn about this in the next class also a bit. So bind, we have, this is compulsory. You have to do in the constructor means it will run at the start. So now if I move it, and now if I increment it, so it is incrementing, no error I am getting, and it is incrementing perfectly. Okay, so it is incrementing perfectly. So okay, so now we are going to look into one more thing. So as I've told, so you need this dot set state. This dot set state is required to increment the count. But why it is required? Why cannot I do something like this? I'll do like this I'll do, and I'll do this dot state dot count is this state dot count plus 1. I'll just do like this. Why this will not work? This should work. Console dot log this dot state dot count. Let me see the console also, so that I can confirm that this will work. Why to write this code? So inspect I'll do, go to console, then so the moment I will increment it, this will increment and this should increase. So I'll do, see what happened. 1 is there. See this thing, this is 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still 0. Why it is still 0? Actually my state is getting updated. The state is getting updated to 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is actually 12. But there is a thing in React. If I don't use this dot set state to update my state, this render function will not run. This render function is the magic of React. See, in when you do a pure JavaScript project, the DOM you have to update, and it is updating is very means it is not that easy to update the DOM so frequently. So here what happens, whenever there is a rule in React, whenever you change the state or the props get passed to a component, the render function will run, and render function only when it will rerun, then it is a sort of the DOM is getting updated. So this dot set dot state, whenever I was changing the state in this way, it is internally changing, the variable is changing, but this is actually DOM. This is DOM. This is not getting changed. So that is the reason we have to use this dot set state only to change it. So let us do it back, and we will do it back, and I will again comment this out, and this is anyways not working, so I will comment it, but for your references I'll do it. Okay, save it. Now I will delete this, and now I will increment again. 1 is incrementing, 2 it is incrementing, 3 it is incrementing fine. But there is a slight issue. It is not an issue. The thing is that it is 4 and it is showing me 3. It is 5, it is showing me 3, because the thing is that React is actually very fast. The moment it sees the this dot set state, it goes to the render and update it, but it shows the old state only. So it is not showing this console.log. So not only with this console.log, if I want to do something which will run even before the render is run, there is a way. This is a special case which we are going to do. We are going to move this whole thing $x, and we are going to move this here, comma, and this is how a arrow function has been called, arrow function. Then can we save it? See, now what will happen? I will click it again and increment. Count is 1. This is also 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever it is, it will be like this. So this is a special case. First, this count has been shown, then only it is moving to the render. This is a special case which you require in a larger production project. Okay. So now, even moving forward, let me do one thing. Let me give the attendance sheet, because I think we will. Okay. So please mark it attendance here. I'm even pinning it. So Ananta is asking something. If you want to pass any action for any button, so pass any action. But why will pass any action for any button means? I'm not getting how why will pass any button for your any action. I'm not getting that. Okay. Okay, no problem. Means you're gonna ask me later on. I'm not getting it because in the future means we are going to pass means we can pass action means use cases means from the we are going to do a opposite thing. See, React is not that powerful as Angular. So what happens here? Props get in one direction only. Those who attended my Angular class before, I was showing the data binding and all those things. Okay, so data binding and all those things I was showing. So you know means what is there. Okay, so that is there, and we are going to now look into the last part of here. So there is another very important use case means special case, not use case, special case. So we are going to look into that as special case. Okay, so this increment we are going to call a function known as increment. When I'm going to click it, it should increment it 5 times. Okay, so on click this was increment 5, maybe increment 5 is there, and increment 5. So increment 5, yeah. And the moment I do increment 5, I will do this dot increment 5 equal to this dot increment 5 or bind it. Like when you click on the submit button, then want to show a pop-up on other page like your registration is done. Pop up on other page. Can click on the submit button. We're going to show a pop-up on other page like your registration. Why on other page? But how you look, how you will go to that other page, that I'm not understanding. Means if you're submitting it, then you want to show a pop-up on other page that your registration is done. Oh, got it. Just like okay. Submit it, and then you go to the other page, and it will show that your registration is done. Okay. So that is the thing is that you can do it with React Router. That you do it. Yeah. Class-based component is very much necessary to get a job, because you don't know in a company you're going to go. So if you don't learn class-based component, you cannot target service companies. Still a lot of class-based component. You don't know in a project is okay. They're going to use class-based component or functional component. I will not hire you if you don't know class-based component. And I hire a lot of React.js developer. I'll not hire you if someone doesn't know class-based component, because they cannot know the basics of even functional component. Because if I tell you run a use effect in component data mount way, what is a component data mount if you don't know class-based component? So that is like that. Without class-based component, you cannot know first the pain of a class-based component. Second, there are a lot of things in a functional component which you cannot know without a class-based component. Means the replacement of it. Okay. Today, if you start a project, you should start with functional component. All the projects on my channel are 99% on with functional components only, not a class-based component projects I'm talking. So, but then it depends. I can anytime move to class-based also. It is not that much tough. Okay, so what we're doing, we were doing this thing. So we're doing a special case. So increment 5, this increment 5, it will call this increment count 5 times. So again we have to do this thing, bind this and all this. Okay, so someone made me do this. Okay, so here I'll do this dot increment count. Let us do this 5 times. 5 times I'm doing. Okay, so now I will think that the moment this is done, it will increment it 5 times. So let us do that. When I did it, okay, okay, anyways, this is why it is not coming. Nothing is coming. So something I missed. What did I missed? This dot increment 5. Yeah, it is coming now. So I was not even clicking it. So increment 5 I have clicked. See, this is showing it 5 times. This means it ran, this ran, increment count ran 5 times, but it is showing only one. It is showing here only this one is, it has been shown. So why this has been shown? So this has been shown, this occurs in React when it sees a lot of this dot set state and in a very short notice. This is doing this dot set state very quickly. This dot set state has been done very quickly. So it optimizes things. So it thinks that something is wrong and it try to group it in one thing, try to group it in one, and that's why this error happens, and it will do only one set state. And this is only one special case. This doesn't occur every time, but in special cases you have to do this thing. So in this, there is another kind of set state is another kind of state is there. I will remove these things or else it will become much more complicated. And then there is like this. Okay. So Ananta, you might have attended earlier ReactJS class also, because I give the same thing again. So for you, if you have attended it earlier, it will give you have attended it earlier. You give me the screenshot and all. Maybe I know that you have asked a lot of questions. So generally, I don't encourage people to do it again and again, but it's okay if you want to do. For people who have already done, it will show you have already done. Okay, I think you have already get the ReactJS certificate many times. If state, if you want, you can give some other email ID also. Okay, or else it will show like this only. So there is something like this previous state, and inside in this I will have like so totally different. Okay, in this previous state I'll have this I'll have, and in this count will be previous state dot count plus one. Okay, previous state dot count plus one. So this is a special way in which I am passing a previous state. Based on the previous state, it will be done. So this special case will not be done every time. Only when we get some issues like this. So increment 5. See, increment 5 is doing its 5 time, 10, 15. So it is doing. So this is special case we have to do only when we are doing this increment, means this set state was actually running a lot. So in those cases only we have to do this. No, not in any other cases. So that is all about, means when we do these things, only in that cases only, when it is run a lot of times. So that is there. And okay, that's good, Ananta. You can, all the lectures you have to attend from some other email ID, or anyways you can give. And mark the attendance with some other email ID. Okay, so that will be good. Okay, a lot of people have seen and nobody have liked it. Okay, so that is there. And with this we have done, means today we done a lot, and this is how we are going to do. And as I've told, I have started with Angular also. So Angular will be this week. You are going to learn both of the JavaScript libraries and framework. Actually, Angular is much more older than React. It started in 2000. It started, all of this revolution was started from with Angular only, because it was released by Google in 2010. Okay, so that's why it is still used in a lot of enterprise based project, because it was 5 years earlier than React. So a lot of enterprise project doesn't ends like that. If a project start, it goes in for 10, 15, 20 years. So that is like that. So with this, I'll end to this stream. I will see you tomorrow, first at the Angular stream at 7, and then at the React stream at 8:30. Okay, thank you all. I'll see you all tomorrow.